Hi, my name is Bonnie, and today I'm going to be giving you a beginner's guide to reusable pads. And first off, I want to say that if you're looking for a tee-hee-hee, silly haha video about periods and pads and stuff like that, this isn't the video. Whether you've had one period or you've had thousands, and this is my cat Micah. He likes to say hi in my videos. Whether you've had one or whether you've had 1,000, you know that it's not like a tee-hee silly subject. So let's not be silly about it, basically. So the reason I purchased reusable pads is kind of an odd one, maybe. When lockdown started in 2020 and everyone was trying to stock up on their essentials, toilet paper, really hard to find, things like that, I thought of sanitary products. I thought of the pads I use, and I thought, well, how many do I need? When is this going to end? How well should I stock up for? And then if something were to really, really go bad, what would I do, once my pad supply ran out? I thought it would be really good to have, for a kind of worst case scenario, a stock of reusable pads was my first thought. But then I started thinking, well, why am I using them now if there's a reusable pad option that is actually effective and actually works? Well, hello, Micah. And I realized that rather than filling up the landfills with pads that are made of products that don't go away easily or quickly, why wait for a worst case scenario to start wearing reusable pads? Why not give them a try now? And if they're effective, switch over to that. So I purchased pads off of Amazon just because it was easiest and cheapest to buy off of Amazon. If I had it to do over again, I think I would purchase them off of Etsy because you can choose the materials they're made of. You can personalize, and you're supporting small businesses, individual people who are making these. I'm pretty positive that the ones that I have came from China, which isn't great. So if I had to do it over again, I would purchase them from Etsy, but the price is significantly more. And if the price is what would stop you or offset you, I would say it's probably better in the long run just to purchase them from what you can afford, where you can afford. I'll go through each of the styles and the prices I paid for them. But hello again. But on Etsy, I just checked again. And on average, you're going to pay about $10 per pad. And there are some really super cute designs and styles and a lot of caras made into them. So that's just a choice to personally make. I'm going to record footage of me testing how waterproof these are. And I'm going to use a water bottle to kind of simulate flow. And I know it's silly to talk about reusable pads and then use a one-use plastic water bottle. I'm going to refill the water bottle, and if you can think of a better thing to simulate period blood, I couldn't. But I'll show how each of them work for kind of dribbly flow, dribbling across, and then I'll also show how it is for a really heavy, like, gushing flow as well. What I got off of Amazon, the first style is this. If you look on Amazon, a lot are going to have this kind of black lacy material. It's very common for these. This is the inner layer that goes up against your skin. It's made of not a black, but a dark charcoal gray fleece, which is very, very comfortable and wears very well. It doesn't get pilly or kind of rough and scratchy the way I've had like fleece pullovers do. This is very silky. It says it's made out of bamboo, and it says it has charcoal like stitched in with it, or however they would do that, just to like help with smells and help with hygiene. I don't know about that particularly, like how well it lasts, how many washes that's gonna last, but I definitely prefer the black for, you know, it's gonna get bloody. And then this material is kind of like silky, not silk, probably polyester, but kind of a silky material. And then they have snaps that just snap, and your underwear is gonna go in between there. One thing with these is that if you're very active in them, or if you sleep in them, they can spin. They can try and spin. I haven't had that happen to me a lot, but it has happened to me. And some people actually will put in like the grippy side of Velcro added onto there, or even there, so it sticks onto the fabric of your underwear and keeps it from rotating. I haven't done that, but that is an option. So this I got off of Amazon. This is their X large size, and I went with the biggest size of all of these and the highest level of absorbency, because I'd rather have something that's too absorbent than you need, rather than have something that's less absorbent than you need, if you know what I mean. And for 5 of these, I paid $21. The other style that I got that is actually my favorite, it's very comfortable and very thin, but still very absorbent, is this. And as you can see, it's kind of contoured. It's wider on one end and thinner on the other. And this closes with just, well, how funny. It has 2 snaps on one side and 1 snap on the other, I guess, so you can adjust how loose or tight you want it to be. I guess that's why they would have that. So you can either snap it on that, or you can snap it on that one, depending upon how tight you want it to be. And same charcoal color, same fleece, very silky, very smooth. This is white, and I've used this, and I've washed this, and there's absolutely no staining at all. So don't worry that you're gonna have lasting stains. It says white as when I first got it. With the Amazon, you don't choose the fabric. It's just random. And these are some examples of the fabrics that came. This one has lemons and toucans. And this one says, I love autumn. And actually I do, but you know, and this one has paisleys. It's just absolutely random. And for me, It kind of had that feeling at first. You know, when you buy clothing from a thrift store and it takes a little while, you gotta wash it and you gotta wear it a few times for it to really feel like it's yours. With these, since I didn't choose the fabrics and the fabrics were kind of like, you know, probably scraps or whatever, it took a while for me to feel like they were really mine and feel comfortable with them. But this style is, and this size is extra large. It was $14 for 4 of them, and it came with a wet bag. And since I mentioned the wet bag, I will talk about that. I actually got a couple of wet bags. It's made of the same material as the pad, and it just zips shut. It has a loop on it that snaps, and this is the other wet bag I got with another set of pads. It has a zipper. This one is actually lined in rubber, so it's completely waterproof, and then it has a smaller strap on it. This one is lined in the rubber as well, so they should be completely waterproof. And this is for if you're wearing the pad out of your house and it's time to change, you use the restroom, you want to change, or you need to change, you can close them up, fold it in, and then snap. It makes a little packet there, and then you can just slip it into the wet bag and keep that in your purse or wherever you're going to keep that. Yeah, and each style, no matter the style, just fold in and then snap. So all the wet parts, the smelly parts are going to be folded in. It makes a really nice little packet, really, really compact and all folded in. And then you just put it in your wet bag and you're ready to go. Now, full confession, I only wear these in the house, and I don't feel comfortable with the whole wet bag process and wearing these at work. I still do wear disposable pads, and I tried to go with good more sustainable brands. I used to use Always, but I switched to 7th Generation, which is really good. And another one that I've really liked is from a company called Public Goods, and it's bamboo, made of bamboo, and less plasticky material. None of that blue dye stuff that you'll see in an Always pad. So that's kind of been my transition. Once I'm done with those, once those are gone, I do think I'm going to try using these even when I'm out of the house. But this was just my transition into reusable pads. I'll wear these in the house, and then when I'm at work, I will wear the disposable pads. So the third style I got 3 different styles, is this one, and it's really, really long. It's 14 inches long. I maybe didn't need one 14 inches long. This is bulky, but I do wear this to sleep because it's a good one for not leaking. It has that same fleece down the center, and then it's just extra long, and same thing, you can fold it up and then snap it shut same as the other ones if you want to wear it out in your wet bag. So this is 14-inch long one, just for reference. And you can choose how long you want. Even on Amazon, you can choose how long you want. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is how I've dealt with it, the logistics of using these pads. And I can't take credit for this. I saw this in one of the reviews on Amazon, and I started out doing it this way, and it's worked so well that I've just continued to do it this way. So what I do is, and living alone, this works for me. If you share the house with someone else who's maybe a little more squeamish, or kids or whatever, your process might have to be slightly changed from this, but this is what I do. I store a box with all my reusable pads in it right next to the toilet during my period. And as soon as my period starts, I will get a bucket. And I have two different options for buckets. I have a bucket I bought at the hardware store, and it works well, but they are actually surprisingly expensive to buy, like an actual bucket. So if you have a cat, if you have any use for cat litter, you can get cat litter in a bucket and just reuse that bucket. I've actually been using that bucket because it's a better size, easier to carry around. And obviously I have a cat and a need for cat litter, so the bucket for that works really perfectly. The lid just pops open and pops closed. So what I do when my period starts is I get my bucket, I put it in my tub, which is conveniently located right next to my toilet within arm's reach. I fill it a half to 3/4 full with ice cold water, as cold as my tub will get, which is really good for blood stains. And then I have a big box of canning and pickling salt, which I got when I pickled my own. It's actually watermelons that got big but didn't get pink, and they tasted like cucumbers, so I pickled them and they were really good. But the box of salt was way more than I needed, so I will shake in some of that salt into the bucket with the cold water, which is also really good for blood stains as well. It helps get it out of the blood out of the pad. And then as I take off the pad, I just open the lid of the bucket, toss it in the bucket, and then close the lid of the bucket. And then when my period is all over, I open the lid just enough to drain the water out of the tub so the pads stay in and the water drains out. And I will warn you that it smells pretty bad. That water will smell pretty bad. And I just dump it down the drain of my bathtub, and then the laziest method is to just rinse your bathtub with some shower gel to get that blood out of the tub and to kind of freshen it up. But, once a month, if you want to just call that time to wash your tub and give your tub a good wash to get all the blood out of there and everything. But yeah, I drain that bloody water down the tub drain, and then I carry that bucket to my washing machine, toss it in, and run that load right away with whatever else happens to need washing. And people did warn cats, what can you do? Because people did warn that the dryer sheets and fabric softener make the pad waterproof, which you don't want that fleece to be waterproof. You want it to be absorbent, so it's soaking up the blood. I actually hang them to dry in my bathroom, and it would take probably overnight for them to dry. A question that a lot of people have, and I think something that puts a lot of people off, is how can this be so absorbent, soak up the blood, and then still be able to, once you've washed it, dry fully? If it's so absorbent, doesn't it stay damp in there? Doesn't it get like moldy or mildewy? I've seen that a lot with people kind of saying, I don't know about these. How can that really work? If it's so absorbent, if it soaks up so much liquid, how can you then dry it? It just dries. I think the parallel that I would give you is a comforter, a really thick comforter. A comforter, you wash it, it's soaked with water, but you run it through the dryer and that comforter gets dry. No matter how thick that comforter is, it still gets dry. So don't be concerned with the fact that if it can dry so easily, it's not really that absorbent, or if it's that absorbent, it's not going to get fully dry. They are absorbent and they do get dry. It's just, it works. Yeah, I think I covered everything. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. If you like this video, give it a like, and definitely subscribe to my channel. I'm also going to be doing a video on period underwear, which I also purchased. And if you are curious about period underwear as well as the reusable pads, check out that video. And I have a series on natural deodorants, different brands of natural deodorants too. So, all right. See you in the next one. Bye.